Hey guys, quick question. Have you ever wondered, as a son or a child of Africa, why is it that every now and then African countries always get at loggerheads? African leaders always engage in some kind of war between themselves? Are we not supposed to be one people? Are we not supposed to be our brothers' keepers? Are we not supposed to live in the continent as one nation? Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in and welcome back once again, man. I want us to talk about something really interesting, but I would like us to discuss the whole situation going on between Ethiopia and Egypt. Yes, as you know, man, there have been a whole lot of back and forth between these two countries, especially after when Egypt supported Somalia. And if you know and you understand that whole situation in the Horn of Africa, you will know that it is a very delicate situation which, if not handled very well, might lead to a far greater civil unrest. But before we get into the nitty-gritty of everything, I want you to please pause for a minute, man. Hey, YouTube keeps telling me that majority of you watch my vlogs, but you do not subscribe. And I would like to understand truthfully, what's the situation? Why you not doing that? Come on, help a brother out, you feel me? And of course, do think about subscribing and supporting the channel. A donation of $1, $2 will go a long way. I mean, anything you have will help the channel grow. I mean, we want to get to that level like that. So ladies and gentlemen, the situation between Egypt and Ethiopia has been deteriorating because we were thinking as sons and daughters of the continent that at some point these folks will come together and be like, you know what, let us just bury this hatchet, let us just come to an agreement for the sake of our people, because we all understand that we are all from the continent of Africa. Now, some of you might say yes, but these people have different lineage. Some came from the Middle East, migrated to north of Africa, during slavery and so on and so forth and so forth. But the fact that you are all in Africa today, we are supposed to live as one people. I do not understand when Africans go against each other, because the more you do that, the more the Westerners, the Western and the allies, Europeans and the allies, they look at you and laugh, because this is exactly what they have been trying to do. They started it in 1884, Berlin Conference, and they have been doing it progressively, sponsoring one side to go against the other side, instigating one African country to go against the other one, pushing this side to go against this side, so that in the background, these folks can actually benefit of the natural resources coming from these two countries, or they will use it as a pretext and under the humanitarian thing to move military into it, and then they start spying and spreading the wings to neighboring countries. Now recently, man, Egypt on the LCC actually gave a hand of embrace to the Somalia situation. Now, we know that Ethiopia and Somalia, they've been at loggerheads, they've been having some kind of misunderstanding in the Horn of Africa, and Egypt coming in just proved to Ethiopia that they are taking sides. And recently, a foreign minister in Egypt just made a statement that, look, Egypt is going to do everything that it can do to support and prevent any types of enemies to its territory. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the Prime Minister of Ethiopia replied, those who are far and nearby should know that we usually embarrass and repel those who dare to try to invade us. Anyone intending to invade into Ethiopia should think not just once but 10 times, because one great thing we Ethiopians know is how to defend ourselves. He couldn't be right about that, because the only country in Africa that actually wasn't colonized, those countries that were not colonized, the only country is Ethiopia. And the Italians will tell you that Mussolini did everything that he wanted to do to try to make that country their colony, but it never ever worked. Yes, back then Ethiopia was called Abyssinia. And if this man is saying this, that they are known to embarrass people, think about the Ethiopians back then, decades ago, who repelled a European power, embarrassed a European strongman, Mussolini. That was crazy. But yeah, let's come back to this whole thing. I will say this, ladies and gentlemen, Africa has far too long been involved in one war or the other, in one civil unrest or the other, in one threat or the other. If it's not Rwanda and Congo, now you're saying it is this or that, and then we have the civil war situation in English-speaking Cameroons, and then we are having the situation down south, and then, ladies and gentlemen, we are a continent that has everything to live and work and die for. I do not understand why our political leaders are letting this Western mindset to get into them, because the West, they are prone to barbarism. Yes, the West, we know from history that they always fought each other. And then now, all of a sudden, they are trying to make sure that this continent full of a whole lot of natural resources that is feeding the whole West. Yes, there is no industry in the world without natural resources found in Africa. And in order to control this, these Western people and their allies, let us sow discord in that continent. Let us keep making sure that one part of the continent is at loggerhead with each other, so that we will use that as a pretext to come in and to put our bases there and then spy on other people and then try to create treaties. This is what the Europeans and the West are known to do. But now, coming to the fact that our leaders in Africa cannot live by what we are preaching. When I say we are preaching, every son and daughter of Africa wants a one Africa. Yes, any person who today doesn't want to live in a Pan-Africanist system of government in Africa, what do I mean by that? You are your brother's keeper. You are not supposed to fight with your brother. If you guys don't want to have one president, it's okay. But at least live as brothers from the same mother, like we would say in layman terms. I want to throw this back at you. Do you think that with everything that is happening in the continent, the war, the hunger, the starvation, the terrorist group, man, the rebel group, the this and that, the xenophobia, do you think that it is necessary for another situation to arise in between Ethiopia and Egypt? I want you to leave a comment. Stay blessed and have a good day. Bless.